Hey team, Coach Christy here at Leadership in Coronado, and I just got done with the Elite Mastermind session a couple hours ago. Actually, today is Elite Day, so all the coaches that came last night, or yesterday was Elite Day, so we came last night as an Elite coach. You get your special little wristband, and they had a party for us on the beach. It was amazing. They had dinner, they had leis, they had cute little real coconut cups that they cut the top off the coconut and then flipped it over and put it on the bottom, glued it to the bottom so it was actually sitting. Oh, I have it. I didn't even realize. So cute little coconut cups full of 21-day fixate pina coladas, which is awesome. And then this morning they have an Elite workout, an Elite breakfast, and then we have an Elite Mastermind session, Elite lunch, and then we get a special sneak peek. We get to go into the Beachbody store and do all their shopping before the other leaders get here, which is really awesome. They spoiled us last night. I got a new jacket. Every night, at least previously when I've been at Leadership, every year I've come to Leadership as an Elite coach. You don't have to be an Elite coach to qualify for Leadership. But I've qualified every year as an Elite coach, and every night I come back to my room, they have a new present in the room for me, which is really just incredible. They really do go above and beyond. I have a photo album that just has photos of all from the time I started as a coach until now, and different events with Beachbody and stuff. So it's really cool. I'm hoping they give us another one of those because I really liked it. But today at our Elite Mastermind session, and Carl spoke for a while, and then we had a keynote speaker, and his name, I wrote it down in here on a random page, is John Addison. He was the CEO of a really incredibly successful company, and he's now working with Success Magazine. And so he was basically talking about leadership, and I wanted to bring this all back to you guys. I wanted to, we have a big break right now. This is the only time we have a huge break because the general sessions don't start for the other leaders until tonight. We have our first opening party at 6 p.m. And so from 12 p.m. when the mastermind session quit until 6 p.m. I have free, the only time I have free at an event. And I just wanted to come back and work. You guys know I've been talking with you all about the big push that we're doing this quarter. As a team, we're going for some really big goals this quarter. I'm super excited. I don't even care. I mean, of course I want to reach them, and I have complete confidence, 100% confidence and belief that we can reach them. But the fact is that we're pushing, and we're pushing together, and that is what excites me. So I'm pushing with you guys. I am not out there at the pool like all the other leaders. I can see the pool, and I can see the ocean from my room. But I don't even want to be out there. I mean, if I did, I'd go out there. I came back to the room, and we have a brand new coach on our team who I'm really excited to welcome to the team soon. And I've been talking with coaches, answering their questions, their messages. But I wanted to come back and do this video before all the information goes out of my head. I took notes, but you know how when you come off of something and you have all the notes and it's really powerful, it means a lot. So my first #1 goal is next year, I want you all to be here with me. I want you guys to be at Leadership. I want a group of us downstairs hanging out at the pool because we've pushed hard in this last quarter, because we're going to push hard in 2016. And I'm going to get all teary-eyed because I've been at Leadership. This will be my 4th year. I've been at Leadership for 4 years. And every year it's been by myself. And I've never quit. I've never given up. I see these other teams that have 6 or 7 or 8 leaders. And 2015, the end of 2015, 2016 is our year. You will all be there with me next year. And I'm so, so excited for that. Sorry, I don't know why I'm crying. But I wanted to bring this all back to you guys before I forget and before I lose the fire that it brought to me. So when you are in this business and you look at yourself as a leader, your goal, your job as a leader is to transfer belief. You have to believe in people before they believe in themselves. You have to help them through that fear and that doubt and that uncertainty, those insecurities that we all have. But you have to be that person that transfers that belief. So people are going to look for doubt. They're going to look for fear. They're going to look for negativity. And you have to be that person that looks for the positive. You have to be that person that transfers belief and confidence, all of the opposite things of where people's minds go. Also, the world today is full of lots of people who say they're going to do things and they never do them. I would, you know how we always say the top the 2%ers. So I think it's safe to say that 98% of the world says they're going to do things and doesn't do them. Leaders are that other 2%. Leaders are the 2% who say they're going to do it and do it. That doesn't mean that they hit every goal, because we don't. We're human. We have to learn. We have to struggle. We have to grow. But leaders do it. So that's really important. To be a leader, you have to go the way. You have to show the way for others to follow you, and you have to do it. When you say you're going to do something, follow through with that. I thought this was really cool because we are a people business. We are in business to help others, to help ourselves. But something he said was the best way to get rid of problems is to get rid of people. People are the problems. You have to get rid of people problems. You have to get rid of people. I thought, oh my gosh, that's so true. So when you're dealing with people, you're always going to deal with challenges. When you're a brand new coach and you're dealing with people, you're going to deal with challenges. When you're an experienced coach and you're been in the business for 4.5 years, you're going to deal with challenges. You will always have people problems because people have problems. But you might as well deal with the people problems, getting better, growing, getting better at dealing with those problems, and earning an income while you're doing it. When he said that, I was like, oh, heck yes. Thank you. Thank you for pointing. You guys hear me say it all the time. I say it all the time. I would rather struggle through change and reaching my goals than struggle through remaining the same. I say it all the time. And it was almost like his entire speech, his entire spill was all about that exact sentence. And I'm like, I love you so much, John. So you have to win in your head before you win in life. Thoughts are things. And that was really, really powerful for me. You have to win in your head before you win at life. How many people want to be diamond coaches, star diamond coaches, elite coaches who want to earn 6 figures, but they're not winning in their head. So they're not going to win in those things, those goals that they had, until they win in their head. Does that make sense? Positive belief, confidence. If you're, this is really cool. If your thinking is stinking, your income is shrinking. And I was like, mind blown, because I see this all the time. Coaches are on a roll. They have incredible momentum and something happens. And that one thing that happens, they start that negative, doubt, fearful spiral. And then their income starts shrinking. And that's like, oh, I'm just not made up for this. It's just not working. And it works. This business works. You have to work. If you want to be successful at something, you can be, but you have to work for it. It doesn't happen overnight. And it's always amazing to me that people will devote 4 years of paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a college degree, or 50 grand or whatever they pay to get that college degree. They'll devote that. And when they get out, they're not even an expert in anything. They've done the schooling, and now they actually have to go get the job and get experience in the workforce, get experience in the field to become an expert in that. So why, when we become a coach, do we think we are supposed to be an expert overnight? Why aren't we taking 4 years, 8 years to perfect our craft, just like we do when we're going to college to get a job, to then become an expert in that field and get paid whatever and live paycheck to paycheck? Or maybe get paid great money. But something he said, he's like, I know a lot of billionaires that are miserable people. And I was like, yes, I say that. That's something else I say all the time. Like, no amount of money is ever going to make you happy. But if you're a happy person, money helps. It helps alleviate stress. That's something I'll bring back up later that he was talking about with money. But if your thinking is stinking, your income is shrinking. So if your thinking is stinking, you got to turn that around. You have to lead you. That mindset, you have to do it. I can't do it for you. Your upline coach can't do it for you. The team can't do it for you. Sure, we can share stories. We can share successes. We can share our struggles and how we've overcome them, and that'll inspire you. But you have to consciously make an effort to change that mindset from that negative doubt, fear, to that positive, I can do this. Use your fear to fuel you. So you have to protect your brain. You have to protect yourself. You have to lead you. I can't change that for you. So brain, you know, they always say, oh, sorry, the quote just left my mind, but garbage in is not garbage out. Garbage in stays. So if you're feeding your brain garbage, it's going to stay. If you are starting to feed your brain personal development, just like Jessie was talking about this week, personal development has helped change her business. She's grown so much faster with personal development. So garbage in your head, it's going to stay. You need to be putting personal development, things that are going to help you change your mindset to that of a positive mindset, to that where when you have a fear, it fuels you instead of creating more doubt and uncertainty. That's something that you're going to have to change. Something I love that he said, he's like, when I travel, people come up to me. You can come in, babe, you're fine. When I travel, people come up to me. They're like, you're always smiling. You're always happy. Like, you know, they don't even know him. He's on a plane. Like, what happened? Are you having a good day? And he's like, every day that I wake up on this side of the grass is a good day. I'm like, brilliant. Yes. The other day I woke up and it wasn't even that I was having a bad day. I just didn't want to work out. I was like, ugh. You can come by, you're fine. No, you're fine. Every like exercise that I did, like every rep, I was just like, oh, I don't want to do this. Oh my gosh, this is miserable. And as soon as I thought that in my head, I said, stop. You're alive. You woke up. You're healthy. You don't have problems. Your problems are minimal. They're problems that can be fixed. They all have solutions. Like whatever, I wasn't even having a bad day. I just didn't want to work out, which then like puts me in a bad mood because I'm having to do this thing that I don't want to do. And I was like, you get to work out. There are people who would kill to be in your shoes. People who have gone through major accidents and are paralyzed. People who have had major injuries and are recovering, going through rehab for years and years and years to be able to walk again. You get to run. So that moment when I thought that, I ran harder. I did faster intervals. I pushed harder. And it was the hardest workout I had all week long. The toughest, but the hardest because I'm alive. I don't have problems. I love that he said that. Every day is a good day. Like when we can train our brains to think that and be happy every single day, success is ours. If you are waiting on circumstances to make you happy, you are never going to be happy. I'll be happy when I get to 2-star. I'll be happy when I get to 5-star. I'll be happy when I become an elite coach. I'll be happy. No. Happiness has to start now, today. When you're happy, those things that you work for will come easier to you. Like I said earlier, he said they're incredible. They're billionaires. They're incredibly miserable. Money makes happy people happier, and bitter people more bitter. Pretty crazy, right? It does. Money amplifies whatever it is. Whether you're bitter, you're happy, you're angry, it amplifies it. Pretty crazy. And it's true. Like I think about it, I'm like, that's so true. Like somebody that's like, oh, I'll be happy when I get to pay off all my debt. No, you won't. You might be less stressed. You might have less stress, but you're not going to be happy if you're not happy right now. So you can't wait on your circumstances. You have to be happy right now with where you're at. Let where you're at and where you want to be inspire you. Let that space inspire you, because if it doesn't inspire you, if you're not happy going after it, you're not going to be happy when you get there. We're always saying fake it until you make it, and he just said it in a different wording, which I thought was really cool. Act the way you want to feel, and soon you'll feel the way you act. Act the way you want to feel, and soon you'll feel the way you act. So think about it. It's easy to exist in life until you're dead. It's easy to exist until you're dead. That's what most people do. They exist. They go through, struggling through. Babe, would you help me? My computer's about to die. Like, oh no. Hold on. Bear with me, guys. Thank you. It's like, we'll fall asleep soon if you don't plug me in. Okay, so it's easy to exist in life until you're dead. And how many people do you know doing this, that are going through life, they're miserable, they're stuck, and they just keep existing? They don't make a change because it's going to be hard or it's going to take work. So they just keep existing until they're dead. It's easy. That's easy to do. Hard? It's hard to be successful. It's hard to be happy because that takes work. Once you're there, it's easy, but it's hard to get to that spot. So most people just exist. Leaders, they do the hard thing. You have to be, as a leader, you have to be the force of nature that is a positive person and embrace adversity. Say that again. As a leader, you have to be the force of nature that is a positive person and embrace adversity. If you want to move towards something great, you have to move towards adversity. So I see a lot of coaches getting started. They're brand new. There's so-and-so said this, that this is scheme, or I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to be successful. And that drags them down, and a lot of them give up. And he said a really good story. He said that he was in a class, and a girl in class like raised her hand and started asking all these questions on the first day of class. It was like a college course that he was in. And the question she was asking, he had no idea what she was even asking. It's like, even if the teacher answers it, I don't know what she was getting at, because this class is way over my head. Like, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't. He called his dad and he wanted to quit. I want to pull out of that course. And he stayed. His dad wouldn't let him quit, and he stayed in college. But he wanted to quit college because he's like, this just isn't right. This isn't right for me. Like, I don't know anything. Like, all these people are very intelligent. I know nothing. And he ended up, he finished the course. Final exam came, had his test in hand. He got a 98. He looked down at the girl that had raised her hand that had planted that seed of doubt. She wasn't purposely planting that seed of doubt because of what she said, though. He planted that seed of doubt by comparing himself to her. And she got a 46 on her paper, and he got a 98. To this day, he doesn't know where she is or what she's doing, but he's the CEO of a billion-dollar company. So that is leadership. You have to be the positive person and embrace adversity. You have to move towards something great. You have to move towards adversity. There are going to be people that don't agree with what you're doing. There are going to be people that say that it's a scam. There are going to be people that say you can't be successful. There are going to be people that say, I know so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. They tried that. They didn't work. It didn't work. They weren't successful. Do you want to be like them? Do you want to follow in the shoes of that 98% that quit? Leaders are the 2%. Leaders are the 2% that don't follow the 98% that say, oh, well, they quit, so I'm going to quit too. I think just being a leader is freaking cool. Like, I want to be the 2%. I don't want to be like everybody else. I want to stand out. I want to be that person that doesn't fit in when you walk into a room full of people. I want to be that person that doesn't fit in. Like, that's kind of what I think of when I think of a leader. Like, you do things that normal people would give up on. Winning is about fighting. I like that. Success doesn't come with a coupon. It doesn't. People are always like, oh, it's too good to be true. It's not. It just takes work. You have to learn. You have to grow. You have to become an expert in your field. To be a leader, you have to become an expert. Know everything. You don't need to know everything as a leader, but you have to grow into becoming a leader. Success doesn't come with a coupon. You have to fight. I fight just the same. Perfect example is my husband over here, sitting back here. You probably can't see him. Turn. There he is. When I started as a coach, he wasn't on board. In fact, he's not an angry person at all. He's really happy, like pretty laid back. He's OCD, but he's pretty laid back about things, just kind of goes with the flow. And he was not going with the flow with this. I'd work in the evenings, after working and working out, and he just wanted me to get off my computer and come sit with him and watch TV. Like, why don't you come eat with me and watch TV? No, I gotta work. And I sat down with them and we talked about my goals and my vision for us. And while he didn't understand it, he worked at being more supportive. He still didn't get it. That doesn't mean he was on board. He'd go to events and not want to be there because he's at leadership today by choice. He wanted to come. Do you want me to come? I want to come. Like, he wanted to be here. I had to fight. Not like we physically fought about it, but I had to be okay with him not supporting me in the beginning because my vision as a leader and wanting success was bigger. That was bigger than any fear or doubt that other people had in me. I had to be bigger than other people's fear and doubt, not just my own. He didn't say that. I added that. I don't know where I'm coming up with this stuff. Business is a marathon. We talk about this all the time. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Most people quit. And the thing about our business is it's really easy to get in. Like, people join, hey, I'm in. People leave, I'm out. Like, it's really that easy. So that's why so many people give up. You know, we talk about this all the time. If everybody treated this business, well, the fact of the matter is, everybody wouldn't be able to do this type of business if it cost $100,000 to get started. But if they had to spend $100,000 to get started, they would devote 60, 70 hours a week for 3, 4, 5 years to get out of the red. People spend 140 and they want to make that 6-figure income. And they can. It's a crazy thing, but they can. And they can be way out of the red before 3 years. But they want it overnight. So they quit when it doesn't happen overnight. But 98% quit everything. 98%. Don't be that 98%. Don't be that 98%. Be that 2%. Be those leaders. Quitting everything is how humanity is wired. Cool thing is we have a team of people who don't quit. We have a team of people who are leaders. We have a team of people that are growing. And you're either green and growing or you're brown and rotting. He said that, and I was like, it's kind of true. Because think of those people that aren't growing through their goals, aren't going after a goal in life. They're just kind of going day to day, living paycheck to paycheck or month to month, working for somebody else, waiting for that day they get to take a vacation once a year, or maybe twice a year, waiting for the weekends. Let's face it, there's 7 days in a week. 5 of them are not the weekends. We need to be enjoying every single day. Like, that's why we're coaches. So we can love what we do and have time freedom and financial freedom and have it all and be a leader and be that 2% that don't give up, that don't quit. As a leader, we have to turn our fear into our fuel. And you guys, I'm pretty much every single one of you who started as a coach had fears. And somehow, still not sure how, I've transferred belief to you. And you're now taking that and you're transferring that same belief to your team. And they're taking it and they're transferring that belief to their team. We are taking fear, turning it into fuel, transferring belief and confidence. And I have chills all over because that's really incredible. Like, giving people the tools to know that they can succeed in life takes work. But that they can succeed in life and turn their fear into fuel and actually have a plan to make those goals in life happen and live a life by their own design. It's incredible. It's an incredible opportunity. Why would you keep that in? Like, shout it to the world. Who cares if they say no? Be courageous. That's what leaders are. They're courageous. Doesn't mean you don't have fears. We just turn them into our fuel. All of us are a basket of insecurities, every single one of us. So that's why we have to turn that fear into fuel. And that's what you guys are all doing. And as I'm sitting in here and listening to this keynote speaker, I am just like getting chills with everything he said because I'm like, he is putting into words my team. If I could describe them, he is putting them into words. And this is a leadership speak on what leadership is and what leaders do. And I was just blown away because this is our team. This is awesome. So life turns on small decisions. And that was what I was talking about with him getting the 98 and the other girl getting the 46. Like, he could have easily just made that small decision to quit. And who knows? He might not have made it to become the CEO of a company because he quit. And it takes me back to, like, life turns on small decisions. We see the big decisions, but we don't see all those little small ones. And make that extra invite. Add that extra person. Talk with someone when you just really just want to go watch TV. You know, those little tiny decisions that just seem so insignificant. Being by the pool or talking to my team. Small decisions. And the one thing when he said that really hit for me is I spoke with Jessica Smith Olsen, while I was on vacation. I could have easily put her off. She could have signed up with another coach. I would have missed out on an incredible opportunity to have an incredible friend and a wonderful leader and somebody that inspires me to become a better leader. But that one small decision to make that call while I was on vacation, pretty cool. It's cool when you can look back and you can actually see those small decisions and how they've impacted. But another thing that came to my mind when he said that is when I was a little girl, I was riding motorcycles. My parents weren't divorced, so I was probably six or seven maybe. And I was riding this little two-wheeler motorcycle around, like doing like little figure eights, going with all the boys. My brother, all the kids that lived out in the country were all boys, so I was stuck with them. And so I had to do whatever they wanted to do. And I fell. I fell pretty hard, and I got up and like, I'm not getting back on. I'm in tears, like crying. I'm hurt. No, I'm not getting back on. And my dad forced me back on that motorcycle. And I am sobbing, 6-year-old sobbing, tears coming down, helmet on, and I'm like riding this little two-wheel motorcycle. And I've never really thought about that until he said this. And that one small decision, my dad not allowing me to quit, I am not a quitter. I've completed an Ironman. I told a friend that today. She didn't know. She's like, why the hell would you do that? Like, I don't know. It was a goal I made, and these people inspired me to do it. I was around these people that were in their 50s and 60s that were doing it, and like, they can do it. Why can't I? And I wasn't even into fitness at the time. So it became a goal, and I didn't give up. I didn't quit, and I crossed that finish line. Could have easily quit at any point during that race. It's tough. Very mentally, you go through a lot of ups and downs and 12 hours of excruciating pain. But it's those small decisions. It's not the big ones. To do those consistent vital behaviors on our business activity tracker every day, or not to do them. Those small decisions. It's easy to grow fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's really easy to do that. That's why so many people quit. That's why so many people live paycheck to paycheck. We have an opportunity for people not to, but most will quit because it's easy to grow that. It's easy to grow fear, uncertainty, and doubt. It's hard to grow positive thoughts. It's hard. So because it's hard, people give up. But once you've learned to do that, the one thing I wanted to add when he was saying that is once you learn to grow those positive thoughts, goodness gracious, not only can you create success in your life, but life just becomes so much easier and so much happier. Next thing he said is lighten up, grow up, and show up. Like, yep, lighten up, grow up, and show up. I was talking the other day with Sarah Milligan, go call her out, and she was worried about, she had something happen in her life where her and her husband, to give you a little backstory about her, and I hope everybody can hear me because I had my earphones plugged in and them not on. So let's hope everybody could hear me this whole time. Need some more sleep. So maybe I'll be recording this again. Sarah Milligan, her husband and her had decided that she wasn't going to go back to teaching because with teaching and their little girl being put in daycare, she'd barely have anything left over to actually come home with income. And her husband he also had a side job as a tutor. It was like $1,800 a month, and they lost that. The people decided not to have him, and they weren't getting that $1,800 a month. And so she started thinking of herself as a failure. But what happened there was fear. She had fear because all of a sudden they lost this income. And of course, the story goes on. She went back. I had her look back at her income from January and her income from September, and she had grown her income by quite a bit. And that's income she wouldn't have had if she hadn't been building the business. So when that $1,800 had been taken away, she wouldn't have even had the Beachbody income. But those are the things that fear can create. You know, they lost that $1,800 in income, and fear immediately took over in her mind, and then doubt and uncertainty took over, and that's really easy to do and spiral further and further and further. So you have to lead you. You have to learn to get yourself out of those. When you do, you will grow tenfold as a leader. He did not say that. That's my own experience. When you're able to figure out how to get through those fears, because I've gone through them. I've gone through them myself. And, you know, as I do, it does become easier to figure out how to push through those and to see that other perspective that you're missing. It's like I always tell people, because I've heard this somewhere, look around the room and find everything you see that's yellow. Okay? Find everything that's yellow. Okay, what was blue? Tell me everything that was blue. Don't look. So the thing with that is you were so focused on yellow, you didn't see the blue. Sometimes we're so focused on what we didn't get or what didn't go our way that we're not even seeing everything that we should be thankful for. Another way to think about that for me is if everything you had today were taken away, and everything you had today that you were grateful for, you were able to keep tomorrow, but everything else was gone. Think of it that way. Like if you were only left tomorrow with the things that you were thankful and grateful for today. So many times we get so used to the things that are given to us. Water. Speaking of, can I have that water? Water. Ugh. Water, food. I mean, those are simple things that keep us alive that some people don't get every day, that people do die from. An incredible husband back here who's my total rock. My computer, oh my gosh, internet, Facebook working and not giving me trouble, a pen, paper, you know, all these little things that we should be grateful for, but we're so used to having, we just go through life and when something doesn't go our way. And it's something that he said that, so lighten up, grow up, and show up. But if you can write a check to fix it, it isn't that big of a problem. And if you don't have the money for that check, figure out how to get that money for that check. But I loved when he said that because he said, you know, Steve Jobs was a billionaire and he didn't have a problem until he couldn't write a check to fix it. And so if you don't have that type of problem that a check can't be written to fix, it is not a problem. It's not a problem. Gotta let it go. So get excited. Get after it. Decide to make it happen. This is something he said. Decide, homicide, suicide. I was like, what is he getting at these? The "I'd." All of those words are to kill something. I'm like, thanks, got that. So when you decide to do something, you decide to kill all the other options. Today, actually, in the last few weeks, I've given up sugar. You guys know how much I love cake and ice cream and anything sweet and muffins and cookies, all of it. And it's been 25 days without sugar. And I have been on vacations twice and stayed on track with my nutrition. And people are like, I don't know how you're doing it. And I just decided, I'm killing all the other options. I don't have another option that I don't even see that as an option. My decision making like that has never been this strong, guys. I've never been able to say, I'm not going to have sugar for, I don't have an end date. There's not on this day I'm going to have sugar. Now that I've gone this long without sugar, I kind of don't want to have it again. I love my cake, but if I have it, I want the whole thing, which isn't good for me. So, yeah, anyways, when you decide to make something happen, to decide to make it happen and kill all the other options, decide to be successful, decide to go pro in your business, decide to be an expert coach, decide to be a leader, you make that decision and you kill all other options. When you kill all other options, doubt and fear have a harder time. Doubt, fear, and uncertainty are not going to sway you. When people didn't believe in me, when people call me fake, I had somebody the other day tell me that I was a scam and to go F myself. And I just laughed. And I said, babe, look at this. And he's like, they said that to you? And they asked for the information about the coach opportunity. But then when they watched it, they told me to go F myself. And that's fine. Some people just need to be educated more. He saved me a lot of heartache because I didn't want to work with him. A leader has to be a transformational person. You have to be a little bit different. I'm a little different. I finally realized that. I'm just crazy. I tell you guys all the time, I'm a crazy person. But you have to be a little bit different. So it's okay. Stand out. Be that 2%. He has a free Best of John Addison audio that you guys can go to. It's Addison, ADDISON, leadership.com/offer. The way you fix is you grow. So when you grow, you're going to have challenges. But the way to fix that is to keep growing. And I think that was perfect because even as coaches, we'll have times where our customer service isn't the best or where, somebody doesn't want something, they want to return it. And any challenge like that, you're growing and you're going to have those challenges. You're going to get better through them. I used to have all those same challenges. I don't have those anymore. Like they kind of went away. People are always like, oh, did you get this a lot? I'm like, oh, I did in my first year. It kind of disappeared. Haven't had it since. And when he said this today, I was like, oh my gosh, that's why. Because the only way you're going to fix those things, those challenges, is by growing. Growing through challenges are better than shrinking challenges. Like that's the same thing where I'm like, you're going to be challenged either way. You're going to be challenged through remaining the same, struggle through remaining the same, or struggle through changing. The choice is yours. And your thinking has to be something bigger than you. That was huge for me because when he said that, first, hold on, we are all getting better or worse every day. And again, I'm adding this, the choice is ours. Whether you want to get better or worse every day is up to you. But your thinking has to be something bigger than you as a leader. And I think that's really where people are always like, how have you grown so much in the last year? You guys know my struggles as a coach. You guys know how, my income grew by, I don't remember what it was last year. My income grew still. What was it, babe? 62% or something. And this year it's grown, I don't know, like double or something, 100% or something. So it's significantly increased in the last year. And there's so many incredible leaders on the team. Everybody's like, oh, well, what are you doing? What are you doing differently? What are all your systems? And I implemented different systems slowly over time. And sure, maybe it's a compound effect of all those little small decisions I made in the systems over time. But I honestly think it's that my thinking became bigger than me. My thinking became about people living this lifestyle that I've worked hard for. I want more people to experience and know that it's possible. I want more people to believe that can be the norm. Sure, it takes work, but that can be the norm. I want more people to say, oh, I want to go on this trip and this trip and this trip and have the money to do it. I want more people to be able to give back to charity or volunteer their time or whatever it is, whatever they love to do and they're passionate about. I want more people to be able to do that. I want more people to be happy. Happiness takes work. Leadership takes work. This business takes work. Be the 2%. Be a leader. Transform belief and confidence into other people. Okay, team, that's it. Have a great day.